Hey there, seekers of style, knowledge, and all that good stuff. Joe here from Style by Joe with a personal vlog. And um, this video I've sat on for maybe about 2 weeks now. So, a little bit of a personal background of myself. Um, my mother had me when she was 18, which is really not a big deal. She got pregnant the first time she had sex. And she believed at the time that she was in love with my dad, which is, incredible. But everybody in that neighborhood kind of knew that he wasn't the right one for her and told her. But, at 18, she, of course, knew everything better than anybody else. So the day of the wedding, my German Lutheran grandparents and her walked to the church the whole time. My grandparents, her parents, telling her that she didn't have to marry him, which I think in 1986 was wildly forward thinking for them. And that's just a backup to this. I'm actually talking about my father today. And that being said, and I was raised by her parents. That being said, my father had baggage in his life, and I don't want to get into that because I don't. So when it was decided that they were going to, in fact, divorce and that I was going to live with my grandparents, my dad had visited me as a baby a couple times, and I know of one time that my grandmother said to him, well, go ahead, hold him. And so they're like, no. My dad did not want to be a dad, and to his credit, he knew that. He knew that was not in him. That also being said, my mother and her parents were very careful not to say really awful things about him, whether they would have been true or not. They firmly believed that I didn't have to hear that. And growing up over the years, people who would see me would be like, oh, I know who your father is because you look exactly like him. And you would think that all this would have made me have so many questions, but really I didn't. You see, my mother and my grandparents, and at the time my great-grandmother, gave me this wonderful nucleus family. And just like other families, there were hardships, and I didn't understand everything, and they didn't understand everything. But, life was decently good. And I remember being in high school, and I know I wasn't a senior yet, so it was either my 10th grade year or my 11th grade year. My grandfather laid down the newspaper and looked at me and said, your grandfather just died. And it didn't even register in my mind what he was saying. And I questioned him, and he said, your dad's dad died. And I remember feeling that kind of slight, oh my God, there really is a whole side of me that I don't know anything about. But again, my grandparents and my mom and my family were so loving that I never had those questions of why didn't he want to be around me? Was there something wrong with me? because I knew he didn't want to be a dad. I knew that he had gone through some stuff growing up. And then a couple weeks ago, through a cousin that I've become friends with on that side of the family, I get a message, hey, I need to talk to you. Can you call me? And I called him. And he told me that my father was dying of cancer. And I had to sit with that for a while, and it really, for about a week, threw me for a loop. And I reached out to my cousin and I said, if he wants to see me before he passes, I'm really okay with that. But if he doesn't, I'm okay with that too, because at the end of the day, I don't want to cause him unnecessary comfort and unnecessary distress. I don't want him, his final days, his final weeks, months, to be filled with some sort of anguish. And I don't know if communication broke down from one to another, but I haven't heard back from him. And while this might sound cold, I'm okay. I'm okay because I know that I did what I should have done. And one of the reasons that I know that I'm okay is because I prayed about it a lot. But I said to people, I am willing to be there if he wants to. Everybody has their own reason for what they do or what they don't do, what they say or what they don't say. But I was raised secure enough to know that his not being around was not because of me, but it was because of him. And I feel bad for him. He has a son. He has grandchildren and great-grandchildren that he will never meet. And that's his decision. You can't force somebody to live by your rules. And you can't force somebody to think the way that you think. Sometimes you have to respect and accept that while it might not seem right to you, or it might not be the way you think it should be, or the way you would want it to be, or the way you would do it, sometimes it's about what the other people think, for no matter or no means is just that's how they think. And I kind of want that to be the message that you're taking away. Sometimes it's not you, no matter how hard you try, or no matter what you say or what you do. Sometimes it really is them. And again, I'm not at all laying a guilt trip on him or blaming him or saying that this is his fault. I'm saying that it's just simply the way it is. So if I don't know, if you guys have an unworkable situation in your life, if you're faced with a situation that you kind of can't make sense out of. Maybe that's the reason that I'm making this video. But I want you to know that love and respect and acceptance is the way that you should live. And, you know, deep-seated hatred or vengeance or whatever just doesn't work. All my social media is listed below. You know, I talked about Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to help me make more videos, you can obviously donate to that. But I really want you guys to come with the takeaway message that, you know, sometimes all you can do is wish other people good luck, you know? Accept, forgive, and move on, I guess. Have a stylish day, guys. I'll talk to you later.